All right, so you are in the advanced care planning module. I'm going to ask that you look at the prototype and tell me what you make of it. I would like you to go through each slide and think out loud as you progress through the module.
Okay.
Whatever you think, you can start.
Why does click to begin look blurry? That's my first thought. So do I click here to start?
You can click there or play. Welcome to the Advanced Care Planning module. In this module, you will learn how to ensure that a patient receives the care that they desire, should they become unable to speak for themselves. This module helps hospital staff support patients in making those decisions based on their values and preferences for their care, and having those discussions with their loved ones. Once you have completed this e-learning module, you will be able to discuss the importance of the advanced care planning process, describe the role of healthcare providers in supporting advanced care planning, identify the 5 steps of advanced care planning, and define the terms healthcare power of attorney and living will.
I think that I would have read, not necessarily have read each objective verbatim, but I might have helped me to follow along with them by using some of the words that were for each objective. As I was listening, then I had to stop to read.
Explain.
So you gave a summary initially of what the whole thing was getting ready to be, but there are also explicit objectives here, like discuss the importance of advanced care planning process, describe the role of healthcare providers. I kind of had to read after the fact to make sure I went through each one.
So the narration helps you or didn't help you?
It didn't help me.
So something like read the objectives below?
Yes. Also, and maybe even have read the disclaimer versus having it there, and then you could just have read the objectives for yourself.
I got the call around 7. It was a Thursday, rainy and cold, but not unlike any other day, really. I knew something was wrong as soon as the house phone rang. No one ever called the house phone. Dave was normally home at 6 at the latest, but I just thought maybe he had hit traffic on the highway. I didn't know what to do. The state trooper told me Dave had been airlifted to the emergency room in Greenville. I asked the Coopers next door to watch the kids. Max, their son, who was still home from college, drove me there. I was shaking so bad I don't think I could have made it there myself. That was the longest 20 minutes of my life. Yes. I was met at the door by a nurse and a state trooper. Dave was in surgery. Apparently he had driven off the road and hit a tree. I don't know how it happened. He was always so careful. After surgery, he moved to the ICU. He had a collapsed lung and swelling on the brain. He was hooked up to all these different machines. I didn't know what to do. The doctors tried everything, but I knew he was gone. He was in a coma for a couple days before they started asking me what to do next. I had no idea what to tell them. Would he want to be kept alive on machines like that? Did I want him kept alive like that? We had never discussed it. He was only 37. I don't even know if he wanted to be an organ donor. We didn't have a plan. It was so hard, and they kept asking me what he would have wanted. I didn't know. I just didn't know. He was only 37.
think some type of interaction would be good after that. Maybe 2 or 3 slides back. I consider this. Are you more or less prepared than Martha? Maybe a click yes or no. And why, think about, or maybe the narration. Why is advanced care planning important? Narration here might be good as well.
When patients come in, you just react and you do what needs to be done. But once things calm down, once the family members solve the problem, it's hard. When Mr. Odell came in, I knew it was serious. We tried everything we could, but he was not responsive. I was with one of the troopers and met Miss Odell when she arrived. She was frantic. That part, that's the hard part. Working with patients' families like that. It's hard. It's hard on patients, really hard on the families. I think it was particularly hard on his wife, Martha. She basically lived at the hospital for those next few days. She didn't know what to do. The provider started asking her about her husband's wishes and if he had a living will. She had no clue. It was awful watching her go through that. I had another guy come in just a few days after Mr. Odell. Had a heart attack unloading groceries. A few years older, but still, not old. The paramedics rushed him here as fast as they could, but it was too late. Unresponsive and in a coma before his wife even arrived. It was different though. She was sad, of course, but a little torn up, but she wasn't overwhelmed. They had discussed end of life care. They had both signed a living will, and I don't know. She was at peace when he passed. She knew he didn't want to be hooked up to machines and kept alive like that. It's always hard watching people go through, watching their families lose a loved one. But somehow, this one was, I don't know, calmer. I wouldn't want my wife to have to deal with this if something happened. I really thought about it, and then we sat down and discussed what we wanted. What we would want to happen if, something happened to us. We wrote everything down in a living will. What we would want to have done to us should the unthinkable happen. We also signed a healthcare power of attorney for each other. That way, if something happened, we would be able to legally make healthcare decisions for each other. Then we made copies of each and put them in a safe place. Biden has a copy and her parents have one as well. I hope we don't need them, but I'm glad we have them, just in case something happens.
That's a his grammar error. About should be lowercase.
It has been 6 months since we lost Dave. It's hard, but you just have to take it day by day. I've moved out of the house and into an apartment, which has helped. I wish it could have been different. I wish I could have spoken to him one last time. I wish I could have had dinner with him one last time. I wish I would have known what to do there at the end, what he would have wanted. It all really made me think, what would happen to my children if something happened to me? I spoke with my doctor and my pastor and decided to sign a living will. I gave a copy to my sister in Eventon and made her my healthcare power of attorney, just in case. I don't want my kids to have to go through what I went through with Dave.
The most important step. Important to who? To
Important in the process.
the whole process is important. I don't know. I can't remember if they said. That's important to you. No, it's talk. First. Most North Carolinians are able to die home. Many families express suffering, emotional, financial distress, and social. Continue doesn't work. X in the corner.
I think the video camera's in the way, so you can't see it. Okay, so actually click back. I want you to go into, I'm gonna just go right real quick, because I feel like the version that was right there is not the one I needed you to watch, but I don't want to stop the recording.